On the 6th of April 2022, aerospace engineer and current coach for Team Sentinels in Apex Legends asked his Twitter whether he had any flat earther followers, with CLG's own NanoFrys responding that the Earth is 100% flat and that there have been a lot of experiments that prove that the curvature of the Earth doesn't exist. And this sparked a massive debate within the Apex community, leaving a lot of people in the community wondering as to how somebody can become so good at Apex to the point of them being the in-game leader and getting signed to Counter Logic Gaming while still being a flat earther. But first, big thanks to Outplayed for sponsoring this video. Don't you wish you could capture every kill, win, or even death? Outplayed automatically records in the background and makes clips of, well, what you tell it to. Whatever you choose will show up on the timeline for your convenience, allowing you to look back and decide what you want to do with the highlights that you've decided on, including exporting small clips or even full games to YouTube. Whether you want to trim a clip and send it to the group chat or review your own dev to see what you could do better, Outplayed's got you covered. Outplayed supports over 300 games and the list just keeps getting bigger. Check out the link in the description and download Outplayed for free today. In the Twitter replies, Nano continued to double down, responding to the barrage of comments that followed, and was later approached by Tech, the aforementioned Sentinels coach, to join an online debate to settle the score once and for all, whether Earth was or actually wasn't flat. This debate turned into some of the juiciest content in Apex's short history, as Nano, IGL and controller player for Counter Logic Gaming, debated Tech, who is an aerospace engineer for Raytheon, and engaged in an almost 3-hour-long debate around this hugely controversial subject. Now, sadly, we no longer have the full recording of this anymore, as the interview was 7 months ago, but thankfully the internet clipped the best parts. Nano doesn't think that gravity is real, and it cannot be proven that gravity is real.
How do you prove gravity? Can you prove gravity?
Yes, there's been countless experiments of proving gravity, and
Can you name them?
Sure,
Can you name them?
sure. And let me bring one thing up. Everything that, like in my line of work, right? Everything that I've
Gravity is a theory. Gravity is, you can't prove gravity. It's an unproven theory.
Okay, well, let's say it's fake. Okay.
And no one can replicate it. It's impossible.
What do you mean? What do you mean no one can replicate it? No one can replicate.
You can't replicate it. No, you cannot. You cannot. You can't. If I put fucking water on a baseball, the gravity from the baseball, the said gravity, is not gonna hold the water. It's gonna fall. You can't do any experiment that proves gravity is real.
He also says that space doesn't exist and that we've never been to the moon.
I want to touch that on earlier.
Let's go.
What do you mean it doesn't exist? Like, is it...
Space does not exist. We have never been to the moon, and we have never been outside of our firmament. We have a firmament above us. So we have never been able to break the firmament or be outside the...
So was the firmament...
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll touch on that later.
When confronted whether the moon was round, Nano responded and said that the moon is just a flat circle in the sky.
Just a quick little off tangent. Is the moon round? Is it like a sphere? Like, I guess what...
The moon's flat. The moon is a circle in the sky.
When Tech was about to ask how someone can fly from Russia to Alaska and take the short way around instead of crossing the entire flat Earth, Nano admits that he doesn't know where Alaska was and says that he's not good at geography, calling himself ignorant. At one point, Nano had clarified that he didn't have a high school diploma and was a high school dropout.
World map, just a 2D world map.
I'm not really great with geography. So.
Oh, it's fine. Is it that if you were to fly from Alaska to the...
Where's Alaska?
You don't know where Alaska is?
Yeah, maybe I can save you some time. If it's like geography question and in the map on a globe,
yeah.
I'm pretty ignorant.
Nano also says that if gravity is real, then how can birds fly? Wouldn't this mean that they're stronger than the Earth's gravitational pull? Remember, he doesn't believe in gravity.
Why is it that gravity chooses what it holds on Earth? Let's say it holds us down, it holds buildings down, right? It holds the whole water, the whole sea, our whole water on Earth. It holds it down. You know how much that's a lot of weight of water. It holds it down. Yet if it can't hold a bird down, why is it not pulling the bird? You're telling me the bird is stronger than gravity or a helicopter?
How would you explain a plane works? Well, follow up with mine. How do you think a plane works?
Nano believes that there's a grand conspiracy by every country that won't allow you to explore Antarctica.
Right.
But basically, so do you see the sun's behind this cloud, right?
Yeah.
Do you notice that this cloud, this area right here, is really, really bright, like compared to these clouds, compared to these other clouds he's about to show?
And where's this proof from? This is from TikTok?
Guys, this is a dude literally recording
Another
this.
proof that our sun is local and in our firmament, just like Genesis 1:14.
Throughout the interview, and honestly huge props to both parties, both Nano and Tech did remain respectful, and Tech managed to keep his composure and calmly question Nano's rhetoric. Nano also said that planes have curved windows, which makes the Earth look round.
Let's hear your thoughts on that.
Well, it's a fact that all commercial airplanes, their windows are curved. So when you look out a window and you see curvature, it's perception of the window.
Sure.
Because of the window.
Okay, so if you were stationary on the ground in a plane, if you're sitting inside the plane, you had a window seat and you're looking out the window, you could claim that.
But at one point, Tech's character broke and he had to do everything to stop himself from bursting out laughing out loud.
This theory of a flat Earth. So, you know, at the time it was a theory to me. And it really interests me. I always question everything. I always look at something with an open mind. So, you know, I didn't really insult anybody. I didn't say, this is fucking stupid. You know, I didn't do that. That's just not who I am. So I looked into it. It was a documentary, maybe like 2 hours, and I watched it all. And I was home alone at the time for like 2 weeks. Didn't do shit but look at flat Earth theories, examples, conspiracy theories, whatever you want to call them, for like 2 weeks straight, man. Just doing it night and day. And by the time like that shit was done, when my family came back from vacation, I told them, I'm like, the Earth is flat. You guys can believe me or not. I don't really care. You guys can call me crazy.
Near the end, Tech asked if Nano happened to have any other beliefs that he wanted to talk about, and Nano said that it does get pretty deep, but he refrained from elaborating.
Give us a little bit more insight into what other beliefs you have.
Things that I believe in. Well, I believe it gets pretty deep, man. Actually, I'd rather just keep it on the flat Earth topic.
Continuing by the very end of the debate, Tech brought forward the question about them taking an IQ test live on stream, but Nano didn't want to embarrass Tech if he would happen to have a higher IQ. Throughout the stream, Tech continued trying to debunk and explain the theories that Nano threw out, but he was repeatedly shot down by the next piece of evidence, I guess. And this ordeal was extra interesting as Nano hadn't left the United States but had qualified for the Pro League LAN in Stockholm, Sweden. And despite traveling to Sweden and placing on a 27th place in the Pro League playoffs and then traveling all the way back to the US, Nano's mind has not changed, with his latest stream title even including the hashtag #FlatGang. He also regularly posts about this on Twitter, seemingly firmly dug in his beliefs.